Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from TheRightTrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. Today we can see that cryptocurrencies are still falling a little bit lower. And like I mentioned in my previous video, which by the way received great support, so just wanted to say a big thank you for that. And if you are enjoying these daily videos, please make sure to leave a like. It really does keep me motivated. But as I was saying yesterday, we can see that we're in a period where the average retail investor is probably not paying that much attention to cryptocurrencies right now. The attention on crypto has definitely gone down since a couple of months ago. And I personally feel like that provides a really good opportunity to get in before the herd comes running through, right? And the idea here is to really buy when people aren't paying that much attention, right? And the hype hasn't come in yet, and then ride that wave back up. Now, that's not financial advice, that's just my personal opinion. But myself, I'm thinking about getting in at these levels, and if we drop even a bit lower, that'll make me even more likely to make an investment. I actually made a poll on my Twitter just a few days ago asking if people were going to buy this cryptocurrency dip, and 67% actually said yes. So that's pretty telling in my opinion. Definitely make sure to follow my Twitter account for live cryptocurrency market updates, and also make sure to check out my premium content. Link to both those things in the description of this video. Just going to go over some interesting news pieces here. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying also in my previous video, where the news has been pretty bullish recently. A lot of bullish headlines, a lot of big players coming into the space, and today we have a lot of big banks, big countries that are actually being favorable towards crypto. Now, what's interesting is this increase in bullish news isn't corresponding to an increase in price, and that's not unusual actually. In markets, whether it's the stock market or the cryptocurrency markets, it's actually pretty common for news to not act as most people would think. In fact, there's even a saying called buy the rumor, sell the news, where often when there's bullish news pieces, there tends to be a sell-off basically, and that's because the anticipation kind of falls down. So you can't fully rely on the news to make an increase in the market, but over the long term, right, these bullish developments behind the scenes and stuff should most likely cause an increase in the price, right? It'll probably take some time, but things are brewing in a positive manner behind the scenes, in my opinion. And the French finance minister said, and this is a quote, "I was a rookie a year ago, but now I have been seized by a sudden passion. It took me a year. Let's teach this knowledge to our fellow citizen to make France the first place for blockchain and crypto innovation in Europe." So once again, another big country kind of taking more interest and softening its stance on crypto. This actually is very similar to US regulators that said that they want to avoid hindering blockchain innovation. And the US has actually also been really softening their stance on crypto more and more. They do kind of want to regulate certain things like ICOs just to make sure that investors are, in a safer position, but they definitely don't want to slow down the growth that we're seeing in the blockchain industry. Japan's Nomura Bank announces that it created a crypto custody solution for institutional investors. So this is very similar to what Coinbase is doing. And Nomura has actually been very favorable towards crypto over the past couple months. And here we can see that a Bitcoin mining manufacturer confirms an IPO filing that's backed by major banks like Morgan Stanley, Deutsche Bank, Credit Suisse. So this is yet one of those signs that I was talking about. And another interesting one is JP Morgan's co-president that mentioned that cryptocurrency will play a role in the future. And JP Morgan has obviously been controversial in the cryptocurrency space, but they're becoming more lenient, and it still seems like they're cautious, but I think that they're definitely getting ready here, and there's even been some evidence of that for the time being, that they're actually working on a patent in blockchain integration, that they're trying to get ready for the next big kind of come up in the cryptocurrency space, and they don't want to miss that, I think. So very interesting that these big banks and big countries are starting to ready themselves for the next crypto revolution, basically, I think. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Bitcoin chart now. So we came up on that previous uptrend line. We pulled back from there. We're now falling lower. At this point, I'd say it's very likely that we do come back and test $8,000. We could get a bounce there, or we might fall even a little bit lower down to our our current uptrend line, and we'll see, right? Maybe we'll come back on that $8,000 level, find support there, and just move a little bit more horizontally, and then bounce off the uptrend line. But either way, the channel that I think we will be moving in is in between these two pink trend lines right here. So basically moving higher in this channel, slowly but surely, over the next few weeks. That's what I think is going to happen. But in the very short term, we probably are going to see a little bit more weakness. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum next, see what's going on. So Ethereum is right now pretty flat actually as far as the Bollinger Bands are concerned, and the middle band price moving a little bit below $700, so we definitely could see more of a drop here down to our lower Bollinger Band at around $634. Could also maybe even go back and test $600. I don't really see us moving lower than that though. But the fact that the Bollinger Bands are flat right now is a good sign, and that we'll be able to avoid dropping too much. We just want to make sure that we don't start seeing the Bollinger Bands moving downwards, because that will put a lot of pressure on the price. Let's go ahead and take a look at Litecoin next. So Litecoin is having a lot of resistance at $145. Definitely not ready to move back above that just yet. So we're starting to move back towards $135, where we do have some support in that area, and want to try to remain above that level, right? Because a drop below that would start pushing us back towards $120, or even closer to really just $100. And you know that will be much more bearish if we start reaching those levels for Litecoin, and obviously just not a good sign for cryptocurrencies in general if we start moving there. Nano, which is up next, is resting right above that 70,000 Satoshi level, so we're still good. We want to make sure that we don't start moving below that, because that will increase our chances of moving towards 60,000 or even 50,000 Satoshis. And since we did put in a very big base in this area, it'd be good to not, ruin that progress and lose that support that we've built up, right? So for now we're good, and we want to make sure that we remain above 70,000 Satoshis. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ripple next, see what's going on. So we're going to go over to the Bittrex chart, and Ripple is currently sitting at 65 cents. Looks pretty sturdy right now. I think that the Bollinger Bands are pretty flat, and we'll see. It'll be a pretty telltale sign. If we move below 65 cents, we probably are going to be moving lower. But at this point, seeing how we're holding up pretty well here as far as the Bollinger Bands goes, and even the price, I do think that we have a good chance of holding above that 65 cent level. We actually have multiple layers of support there, so I fully think that's possible at this point, that we remain above that level. Let's go ahead and take a look at NEO, see what's going on, and we're going to go over to the Bittrex chart once again. NEO actually looking a bit weak here, a lot of red candlesticks over the past several days, and we're coming up on that $60 mark. This is where we're going to see if we're going to be able to maintain this level, but with this lower Bollinger Band moving below that and moving towards the downside, middle band also pointing downwards, I think that we may be moving, at least down to $50, and could even get a drop down to $43 if we're really going to see that much weakness. But definitely, around $50, $52, I think that's where we're heading next. We'll know within the next day, basically, if we're going to start moving below $60. So that should be pretty clear there. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next crypto, which is going to be Stellar Lumens, and see what's going on. So Stellar is currently moving below 4,000 Satoshis, probably going to come up on that lower Bollinger Band, which is at around 3,700 Satoshis, so could get a bounce there. Basically, in the middle of our 3,500 to 4,000 Satoshi range, and that's probably where we're going to be trading over the next at least week, maybe even 2 weeks. Let's go ahead and take a look at Vertcoin next, see what's going on. So Vertcoin is currently moving back towards that $2.20 support level. Definitely not sure if we're going to remain above that level for now. Within the next 24 hours, we'll see if we get a bounce or not. But I would want to try to avoid that, because we don't have that much support level below, and if we don't get a bounce afterwards at around $1.80, we will probably be moving back down to $1.50. So got to be a little bit more careful here on the Vertcoin chart. Let's go ahead and take a look at Lisk next, see what's happening. So Lisk is currently resting on top of that $10 support level, facing a lot of pressure from that downtrend line, which is completely expected. And we do have our lower Bollinger Band that's starting to expand towards the downside. So definitely some signs that we may not be able to sustain above $10 for long, and we might start moving back towards $8, which isn't the end of the world. We do have a lot of support there, but ideally we'll see over the next 24 hours if we are able to avoid moving below $10 and getting out of the downtrend line. That would obviously be much more bullish, but definitely a lot of downward pressure from that downtrend line. And I'd say if the rest of the market, especially the big cryptos like Bitcoin, do take yet another small hit, which is quite likely at this point, Lisk will probably not manage to remain above $10 for now. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next crypto, which is going to be Cardano, see what's going on. So Cardano is currently, sorry, I always forget this, but I need to go to the Bittrex chart here. So Cardano is moving below 3,000 Satoshis. Looks like we're not going to get any kind of major drop, but we could start trickling down slowly but surely towards 2,700 Satoshis, and I do think that's pretty likely at this point, especially seeing how we're seeing a slight downtrend on, the Bollinger Bands, the middle band, the RSI. Seems pretty likely, and like I said, I don't expect any kind of huge or sharp drop, but definitely a slow but steady move back down towards that level, which is fine, better than some kind of huge crash. Let's go ahead and take a look at our last cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update, which is going to be IOTA. And IOTA is now moving below $1.91, which is pretty unfortunate. I was hopeful that we were going to remain above that. Yesterday we were looking pretty strong, and to be honest, it's trying to remain above that level, but for now it does look like we may move a little bit lower, back down towards $1.68, basically right in line where our lower Bollinger Band is at. So that's where we can expect some kind of support over the next few days. With that being said, this is the end of this daily crypto update. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.